Welcome to kidsacademy.mobi.
Hello boys and girls, it's Teacher Mike here, and today we're going to be looking at a place value worksheet. Let's remind ourselves of some really important things when it comes to place value. When you see the number 12, what do you think? Do you just see 12, or can you see what 12 is really made of? Let's take a closer look. I know that the 2 is in the ones place. And when I see a number in the ones place, I know the number is really just representing itself. 2 means 2 for real, and it's represented by the number 2 or with 2 cubes. If we look to the tens place, we'll see the number 1. Although this 1 doesn't just represent any 1, it represents 1/10. Meaning that this 1 really is 10, or 1 long, which is made up of 10 individual cubes. So when I see the number 10, I know that 1 in the tens place really means 10, or 1/10, not just 1. But the 2 in the ones place really just means 2, or 2 ones. So with that information in mind, let's read the directions and get started right away. Bubble matching fun. Trace on the dotted lines between the bubbles that represent the same number. Okay, let's look at the first example. I see the number 11, and it's represented by 1/10 and 1/1. Let's write the number 11 and take a closer look. Well, if I set up my tens and ones place value chart, I see that in the ones place there's just 1. That's represented by 1 cube, or 1/1. It's written as the number 1, and we mean it. If you look at the 1 in the tens place, I know that's made up of 1/10. 1/10 really represents 10 cubes, or 1 long. So if I look back at the answer choice and I see 1/10 and 1/1, I know that that's correct. That is the same thing as 11. Let's go ahead and trace on that dotted line. Let's look at our next example, 15. Again, let's take a closer look at the number 15. We'll make our place value chart of tens and ones. In the ones place, I see 5. That can be represented by 5 cubes, or the number 5, or we could just say 5 ones. The 1 in the tens place, again, represents 1/10. 1/10 can be represented by a long, the number 10, or 10 individual cubes. So now let's look at the answer choice and see, is 15 really being represented the right way? Well, when I look at the answer choice, I see 5 tens. I already know this isn't correct because in the number 15, I only have 1 10. And there's also 1 1. And that's not correct because I remember there were 5 ones. Let's not trace on the dotted line because this answer choice is not correct. Let's look at our next number, 17. Let's have a closer look. For the number 17, we'll make our place value chart of tens and ones. I see the number 7 in the ones place, so that represents 7 ones. It can be written with 7 cubes, or we can just write 7 ones. 7 means 7. In the tens place, we have the number 1 again, and again that represents 1/10. We could also show this with 1 long, or 10 individual cubes. This could also be written as the number 10. So I know in this number 17, I have 1/10 and 7 ones. Again, let's check our answer choice. I see 7 tens and 7 ones. This is not the correct answer, so we should not trace on this dotted line. Let's look at the next number. We have 16. How many ones and tens are made up of the number 16? Do you know by this point? Well, let's make our place value chart to see. We'll set it up with tens and ones. How many ones are there? Well, I see the number 6, so I know that there are 6 ones, because when a number is in the ones place, it just represents itself. If I look to the tens place, I see the number 1. I know that 1 in the tens place really shows a 10. There's 1/10 there, so we can write it as 10, we could write 1/10, and we could show it as a long, because all of these things really just represent the number 10. So let's check our answer choice. I see the answer choice is 110, and that's good because we have 110, and 6 ones, and that's good because there are 6 ones. This is correct, so let's trace on the dotted line. Finally, our last number is 13. We know that we have 10s and 1s. In the number 13, there are 3 ones. It can be represented by writing 3 ones, or by writing 3 cubes, or just the number 3. 3 means 3. The ones place doesn't mess around. In the tens place, we have 110. I know that because there is just number 1, and it is in the tens place. So this can be represented by the number 10, by 1 long, which of course has 10 cubes, or by writing 110. So let's check our answer choice to see if this is correct. I see 110, and again that's correct, and I see 3 ones, and again that's the same too. So 13 is represented by 110 and 3 ones. Remember, boys and girls, when you're trying to figure out another way how to represent numbers, you can make a nice place value chart. You can represent numbers by putting them inside the place value chart and writing their real value outside of the place value chart. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.